In 2026, the transformation economy is worth more than the traditional service economy. Everywhere you look, fitness apps, productivity tools, meditation platforms, even dating apps, nobody's selling you a product anymore. They're selling you a new version of yourself. But this didn't happen by accident. It's the result of the most sophisticated marketing shift in modern history, and it works because it hacks how humans actually change. For most of history, brands focused on selling features. In the Industrial Revolution, it was about goods, stronger steel, faster engines. Then came the service economy, better customer support, faster delivery, more convenience. It was all about making life easier. By the early 2000s, we entered the experience economy. Brands like Apple and Starbucks weren't selling computers or coffee. They were selling experiences, the aesthetic, the feeling, the vibe of being in that world. But around 2015, something shifted. Strategist B. Joseph Pine II identified it clearly. We moved from the experience economy into the transformation economy. Now, brands don't sell experiences. They sell you becoming someone different, someone better. And here's the thing. This works because it exploits how your brain is actually wired. Let's talk about why willpower is a lie. For decades, people thought self-control was like a muscle. You exercise it, it gets stronger. You use it too much, it gets tired. That's ego depletion theory. Except it's wrong. Multiple large-scale studies failed to replicate the ego depletion effect. The theory fell apart. Here's what neuroscientists discovered. The problem isn't that willpower depletes. It's that willpower is the wrong tool entirely. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that tries hard, operates serially, one thing at a time. It burns massive cognitive resources, and it's designed for novel problems, not sustained behavior change. When you rely on willpower, you're fighting your brain's architecture. You're using the emergency system for everyday life. Enter identity-based transformation. This is where brands discovered the neurological loophole, and it's brilliant. There's a psychological principle called self-perception theory, discovered by Daryl Bem in 1972. And here's the wild part. Your brain works backwards. You don't think, then act. You act, then your brain reverse engineers belief. When you lack clear attitudes, you observe your own behavior to figure out what you must believe. When Peloton makes you say, I'm someone who never misses a workout, instead of, I want to exercise more, they're exploiting this loophole. Your brain observes your behavior. You worked out. It concludes, I must be a workout person. Identity formation hijacks behavior change. Neuroscience research confirms this. When people adopt identity-based habits instead of outcome goals, the brain responds completely differently. The ventromedial prefrontal cortex, your brain's value center, lights up. This region tracks what matters to you. When identity and value merge in this brain region, behavior becomes automatic. You don't need willpower anymore. Now let's talk about why the before and after post is so addictive. And I mean literally addictive. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between receiving a like on your transformation post and getting paid cash money. Same dopamine pathways, same neural circuits. Researcher Lauren Sherman led a study in 2018 proving exactly this. They put teenagers in fMRI scanners while using a simulated photo sharing app like Instagram. When teens saw their photos getting lots of likes, the ventral tegmental area and nucleus accumbens lit up like fireworks. Those are your brain's reward centers, the exact same regions that activate when you eat food, make money, or take drugs. The ventral tegmental area, the VTA, is your brain's dopamine factory. It's the source. But here's what makes social media so insidious. Dopamine doesn't just reward you for receiving likes. It rewards you for anticipating them. The VTA releases dopamine before you even get the reward. This is called variable reward schedule. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. When you post your transformation photo, you don't know when the likes will come, or how many. That uncertainty is what hooks you. Your brain releases dopamine in anticipation, over and over, checking for validation. It's literally Vegas in your pocket, and you pull the slot machine lever every time you refresh. But there's a second layer that makes transformation marketing even more powerful: mirror neurons. Mirror neurons were discovered in the 1990s. Scientists studying monkeys found something shocking. When a monkey watched another monkey grab a peanut, the observer's brain fired as if it grabbed the peanut itself. Humans have mirror neurons too, and they're incredibly sophisticated. They let you experience what you observe. When you see someone's transformation post, your mirror neurons fire. You simulate their journey in your own brain. You experience vicarious identity change. Your brain lives through their transformation without you doing any actual work. This is why user-generated content is so powerful. It's not advertising. It's neurological simulation. Research shows transformation content achieves 28% higher engagement than branded content, 4 times better click-through rates. Why? Because people trust people, not brands. When someone posts their genuine journey, mirror neurons make us feel it. So brands stopped creating ads. They started engineering identity transformation systems instead. Peloton doesn't sell exercise bikes. They sell the identity of someone who never misses a workout. They mapped your entire emotional journey: intrigued, infatuated, pragmatic, excited, apprehensive, then addicted to the workout. Result? 96% retention rate. Noom and Weight Watchers, now just WW, stopped selling weight loss. They sell becoming someone who lives healthy. Noom even built their entire app around behavioral psychology. They don't count calories. They reshape identity. And here's the genius move. They turned you into the advertisement. Every progress photo you post is free marketing. They created what they call the virtuous cycle. You transform, you post. Others see, mirror neurons fire. They join, they transform, they post. It's self-perpetuating. The users do the marketing. The brand just architects the system. Now let's talk about how this gets locked into your brain permanently. This is where the reinforcement learning cycle kicks in. The cycle works like this. Behavior leads to dopamine reward, which triggers memory consolidation, which creates habit formation, which solidifies identity shift. There's even a specific protein involved, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. It consolidates the new behavior into long-term memory. Every time you get validation on your transformation post, your mesolimbic pathway reinforces this behavior is valuable. Do it again. Over time, control shifts from your dorsomedial striatum, which requires conscious effort, to your ventral and dorsolateral striatum. Those handle habits. The behavior becomes automatic. You're no longer trying to be healthy. You simply are someone who is healthy. That's when identity cements, and brands know exactly how to trigger this cycle. But here's the dark side nobody talks about. You never actually arrive. You're always becoming. That's not a bug. It's the entire business model. Transformation marketing creates perpetual aspiration. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, struggles to regulate transformation claims. Unlike product claims, aspirational marketing lives in a gray zone. You can't sue a brand for saying, become your best self. There's no measurable claim to verify. It's pure identity suggestion. And it feeds comparison culture. Every transformation post becomes a benchmark. You're always measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel. Social comparison theory shows this damages well-being. Constant upward comparison to others' transformations increases anxiety and decreases life satisfaction. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It works, and it works because the psychology is legitimate. Identity-based change is the only sustainable method neuroscientists have found. Transformation marketing accidentally discovered legitimate behavioral science. Is it manipulation if you opt in, if you consciously choose to use these identity systems to change? Psychologist James Clear argues these are tools, not weapons. The same mechanism that brands exploit can be used for genuine self-improvement. The question isn't whether transformation marketing is ethical. The question is, who controls your identity engineering? Is it a corporation feeding you aspirational identity, or are you intentionally using identity-based change to become who you want? This has expanded beyond fitness and weight loss. Every industry discovered this. Productivity apps don't sell task management. They sell becoming someone who gets things done. Dating apps sell becoming someone who is desirable and confident. Financial apps sell becoming someone who is financially responsible. Even B2B software. Slack doesn't sell communication tools. They sell becoming a modern, collaborative team. Online education platforms sell becoming someone who is always learning and growing. Every brand is in the transformation business now, because that's how human behavior actually changes. Nike understood this decades ago. Just do it isn't about shoes. It's about becoming an athlete. Apple sells becoming someone who thinks different. The technology is just the vehicle. Patagonia sells becoming someone who cares about the environment. The jacket is secondary. Whole Foods sells becoming someone who values quality and health over convenience. Tesla sells becoming someone who is forward-thinking and environmentally responsible. This is the fundamental shift. Marketing evolved from features to benefits to experiences to transformations. Companies realized people don't buy what you make. They buy who they'll become when they use it. Identity became the new currency, and your transformation story became the advertising medium. Brands aren't marketers anymore. They're identity engineers, and most people don't even realize it. So, what do you do with this information? First, awareness is power. Recognize when a brand is selling you identity transformation. Most of the time, they are. Ask yourself, is this the identity I want, or is this the identity being sold to me? Second, if identity-based change is the most effective method, use it intentionally, for yourself, on your terms. Don't let algorithms feed you aspirational identities. Choose who you want to become. Then engineer the behavior changes to get there. Use identity language, not I want to exercise, but I am someone who moves their body daily. Prove your identity to yourself with small wins. Your brain will reverse engineer the belief. That's how self-perception theory works. Third, create systems that align with your chosen identity. Make the behavior automatic. Design your environment. Put your running shoes by the door. Meal prep on Sundays. Make the identity choice the easy choice. Stack new habits onto existing ones. After I pour my morning coffee, I meditate for 5 minutes. Link identity to routine. Celebrate small wins to trigger that dopamine reward cycle. Tell someone about your progress. Post if you want. But own the tool. Don't let the tool own you. You're using transformation psychology. It's not using you. Here's the final insight. The shift to transformation economy isn't just marketing evolution. It's revealing how human behavior actually works. Decades of neuroscience research confirms we don't change through willpower. We change through identity shift. Brands stumbled into this truth while trying to sell more products. They discovered what psychologists already knew. The difference between empowerment and manipulation is who chooses the identity being engineered, you or them. Now you know how it works. The dopamine, the mirror neurons, the identity formation loop, the reinforcement cycle. You can't unsee it. Every transformation post, every before and after, every journey update, you'll see the machinery underneath. And that's the point. Understanding the system lets you use it deliberately or reject it consciously. So here's my question for you. What identity are you currently being sold? And is that who you actually want to become? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what transformations you're seeing marketed to you. If this perspective shifted how you see marketing, hit subscribe. We decode the psychology behind everything you see. Like if transformation marketing has worked on you at least once, we've all been there. Share this if someone needs to hear it. Remember, transformation marketing isn't good or evil. It's a tool. The question is who's using it and why. Until next time, keep questioning what you're being sold and engineer your own transformation.